Hello, Thomas.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm pretty good.
That's not bad. I'll take it. We got Cold Plunge Christmas going on. Tag us in a post, get some free gear, freeze your ass off. Help us out by subscribing to the podcast. You know what? We are in the top 10% of all podcasts on Spotify. It's pretty good. Instagram, follow us on Instagram. Send us some videos you want us to talk about. I've had some people doing that.
Yeah.
And check out the website.
I like talking about videos, feeds.
They're fun.
Funny, fun.
Yeah, or like
Sometimes it can be serious.
the last one we had last week was talking about fire stuff, transitional attack. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And power poles.
And power poles, obviously.
And I'm not giving mine up.
I know you're not.
Yep.
It's obviously working.
What do you got today? Here we go.
There's a quote from Timothy Leary that says, "Women who aspire to be equal with men lack ambition."
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't heard that, but I agree with it. I'm like, I get up and give you my seat because I think you're special, not because I think you're my equal. A guy comes in, he's 57 years old, he's physically equal to me, he's on my, I'm not going to get up and give him my seat, all right? So I give you my seat not because I think you're my equal. If you're my equal, you can stand just like I do. I give you my seat because you're special.
I think this is interesting. It's an interesting perspective that I don't think it's being addressed. That's all.
Okay. Go on.
And as someone who has a daughter now, and you're a daughter, and we both have amazing wives, I think that there is something that can be lost if we have this like major push for 100% equality in everything.
Do you think where it kind of intersects and the conflict in thought starts is the equality in roles?
I think that we all should have an equality of opportunity. I don't think that there should be any doors closed just because you're a specific race or gender or anything like that.
That's the whole equality of opportunity versus equality of outcome.
Correct.
Right.
I think we're close to there. Like I don't think there's a whole lot out there right now. I know there is where it's impossible to do a thing if you're of a different gender. But there's a like nuance to it that I hope we don't lose, which is we should be revering the women that are in our lives. And if you want to be treated just like a man is, I don't know if they want, I don't know if you'd want that.
I think instead of trying to bring the woman up to equal the man and bring the man who's sometimes portrayed as bring the masculine down to meet each other, right? I don't like that.
I think you should embrace.
I think you should focus on what the woman does really well, the feminine side, and what the man does really well on the masculine side. And like as you said, maybe revere, I don't know if that's the right word, or just highlight and focus on those. Like what have men done really well for generations? What do they do now? It's really like, what do we need them to do? Like we need them to be strong fathers. We need them to be in the home. We need to, all things considered, there are circumstances that prevent this sometimes, but they need to fight to keep their marriage together. A woman should fight to keep her marriage together. But what are they really good at? I mean, my wife's way better nurturer than I am. And most women are way better at that than males. They're able to, I mean, they feel more, right?
I don't think that gets the credit that more masculine attributes get. Like, I don't feel like they feel like empowered to be really great nurturers. Like we would feel empowered to be really great warriors, right? Like, I don't think it's not as revered, it feels like. And like, maybe that's why it feels like that's like a lesser thing, but do you know how fucking hard it is to nurture and care when you are dead ass tired, when you have all the stresses of the world and you still need to be there, whereas men can just put their heads down and work
which
until
has
they fucking
its
die.
that's hard too.
Right, but I think ours has like a certain level of like respect that goes along with it, whether that's deserved or not. But like we have to have both. And I thought
What you're
about
saying is respect both, and
yeah,
basically cheer both.
both should be celebrated.
Both should be celebrated. That's a good word.
I thought about this. We had our washing machine broke. No one needed to tell me that it was my job to get it back up and running again. It's something that I wanted to do for my family. I want to, but that's like part of my gig as a parent and a husband is like something breaks, I fix it. I don't know if like there's a benefit to switching those roles around because I see it in some people's relationships where, that the male in that relationship doesn't take those tasks on and they're looked down on by the women that are in their lives. Like, why aren't you doing that? Like, you're a man. Like, shouldn't you know how to change a tire and fix this and, defend me if I'm out in the streets or, getting harassed or like, aren't you supposed to be the protector? Well, if we try and meld all the roles and just like, it's all up for grabs, I don't think that works very well.
Jack of all trades, master of none for both sides.
Yeah, like I can't do what my wife does.
Right.
Like I'm not built for it. The reason you find a spouse to be with is to like
Compliment.
Fill in your shortcomings. And I'm so grateful that I have that. And in return, I will pay you back by doing all the shit that you shouldn't be doing. You're capable. You 100% could do all those things. I don't want you to. That's my job. And I don't know, as two males sitting here having this conversation.
No. I want me.
One male.
1.5.
I don't know why. I don't know if it's been thought through that they're going to lose that. And I think that there would be some folks who might think, well, I don't want you to give up. Like, I don't need your seat. I'll fucking stand. I know, but at the same time, like, wouldn't you want to feel like special and taken care of and protected?
Almost like you deserve that seat.
100%. Absolutely. Like I will 100% teach my son that if there's a female standing and you have a seat,
holding the door, right?
Get up, hold the door.
Yeah.
Be respectful. And when the lines start to get blurred, I think there's a danger of losing that, which I don't know if is a good thing. I think there's a way to provide opportunities for everybody and not lose the roles that I think have worked for a really long time.
I feel that it's a very hard job for a woman to raise kids at home.
Brutal.
Right? Because we talk about purpose a lot on this podcast. It's easy for us to chase that stuff, right? With the traditional role of go out, work, provide, take, for instance, a washing machine. Anything around the house breaks. Any project, right? Involves like blue collar type labor. That is purposeful for us, right? That gives you a good feeling.
Oh, I felt great.
Right? It's like, it's like, okay, I can do a lot of this stuff. Just have to, like you feel talented to an extent, at least more than probably the average these days. But what does the woman have if they're just at home with the kids a lot of the time? And it's like Groundhog Day, right? Over and over again. It's go to the grocery store, it's take the kids to school, it's clean the house, get the dinner ready, and come home and get ready for the next day, and then get up the next day, So what do they do if, like, they're stuck in that role? I don't know.
I feel like the responsibility of both parties involved is showing one another how much you appreciate their burdens. If you show me that you appreciate me, I will run through a fucking wall for you and smile on the other side. We need to do a better job of showing the appreciation for the shit that they're doing. And that's going to be different for everybody, right? It's going to be, some people like to receive gifts. Some people, it's quality time. Like, goes back to the whole like love language thing. We both need to appreciate the fact that both members of this team are carrying burdens and showing that you respect that. Like, thank you so much for doing the thing that I can't do. Because, like, my house would fall to fucking pieces if it wasn't for my wife. Our marriage would fall to pieces. Our kids would fall to pieces. And so finding ways to show them that you appreciate the burdens they carry. And part of that is that when something fucking breaks, you fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So you're saying that's a way of showing it, but I would argue that I don't know if that is enough. Like, I don't know if just making sure that everything's in top working order and, you know, like, oh, your car needs an oil change, I'll take care of that. Oh, you know, like all this stuff to make sure that your daily tasks run smoothly. Is that enough? I think you got to do more than that.
I agree, but that's a good start, man.
100%.
You know, like,
That's the bare minimum.
Yeah,
I
like,
think what I'm saying.
you'll need nothing, and you will always be protected when you're with me. Like, that's the baseline of what you should be providing that other person as part of your role. And then the flip side to that is when you do end up finally coming home from work, you have a nice place to be, right? Like, I'm not saying that every time that you come home, like, house better be clean, food on the table. Like, I'm not saying that. But if you come in the door and you're met with all the things that you fucked up and you didn't do right, that's not fair. Like, that's
Likewise, if you come home and
yeah, you're like, why is this
isn't it
not
dinner?
done?
Yeah.
Why is it fucking?
so there has to be some understanding, as long as everything's done in good faith effort, then there still has to be understanding. It's not always going to go as planned.
100%.
Yeah.
And so I think having that baseline of responsibilities for each person, and then figuring out what they need on top of that. Like, what's going to make them feel like you're giving gratitude for the burdens that the other person's carrying. And maybe for some people, it's like, hey, 2 nights a week, I need a night off and I need to go out with my girlfriends and, you know, or do whatever. Like, you need to be able to communicate that to your spouse about what you need to feel like your bucket's getting full and they respect all the efforts that you're putting in. And then the same goes on the other side of having a conversation of like, here's what I need. And in return, you get all this, you know, like, you get everything that you deserve. I think the communication piece is the problem.
Communication.
It all comes down to that.
Weak spot of mine.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning into The Standard Issue. Get exclusive content and support the show through our Patreon. You can find the link through the-standard.us. While you're there, check out our premium gear and links to our sponsors. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a review. Till next time.